And that's,
Yeah.
and
There you go.
and pull the plug. And by the way, I authorized Justin Russell to get us a bigger monitor. He said, you get it for $200. I said, well, you
Oh,
know,
darn, gosh,
I
yeah.
said, get a 60-incher so I can watch APO in here.
Or the Vikings when they go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
If they ever go.
John, coming up here in the future, there is an enormous television right now down in Adam's office.
Oh, really?
And I had thought that the purpose of that television was to be able to take to court to use for displaying exhibits.
That was
That
what
was it.
Kevin wanted.
That was what,
He
that was
got it.
Kevin's deal.
Okay, but apparently,
There
there were two enormous televisions purchased, and one of them's already up there.
Oh.
to do
So we
it.
got an extra monitor, is what you're saying?
Somebody
And
got
I'm
one
gonna be
downstairs.
maybe looking at some possible ideas to make that thing go away, because I don't wanna be tripping over it.
Oh, you don't want it?
What am I gonna use it for?
How big is it? How big is it?
It's as big as a dang wall.
There you go.
I mean,
They could
it's,
just solve the problem.
I mean, go on down there and look at it, and if you guys can.
Well, I told Justin, I'm sitting here, I can't read some of that stuff. It's
Look,
just-
yeah, I mean, I'm not your county attorney yet, right? So I'm not controlling any budgets or any equipment.
All right, just as long as you know that.
But,
Kevin was the one that requested that, remember?
Yeah.
He wanted to take it to the court, because he said, a lot of the people in the courtroom can't see it right, it's not big enough. But
well,
they
but
have
from what I
one.
understand, there's one up, they got one up there to do that. And,
There you go.
I mean,
Solution.
and that one was just for him to go over exhibits and stuff with people in his office.
Huh.
And I mean, I can do that on a computer screen. I've been doing that on a computer screen forever. And I don't wanna trip over that great big huge dang thing, and I'd rather have that quarter of my office back. Presumably it becomes my office.
Is he on Zoom, or how are we gonna talk with?
Okay,
Do we need
so
to talk with
the
Eric?
con, he's, Eric's not coming in, Emery and her other, coworkers coming in.
They're
They'll
actually-
be here.
Oh, they will be,
They're
okay.
spending the day in the building, doing their,
They're camping?
they're camping in the building, they're gonna have a little fire and, no, they're gonna be in the building doing actual conditioning data, collection, so they'll be there all day, so they're gonna meet with us, so yeah. Well, they had their in-house kickoff meeting last week, so they've got their plan in place, and so this is their first on-site visit. But they wanted to meet with us to sort of give us
Good.
a game plan, so they'll be here at 9:30. So, I just wanna say thank you guys for coming to the cold board, I was glad. I think we were really fortunate that they gave us something because they had $3.5 million in requests, and they said, you know,
I heard that.
and there
later.
was, they only had $1.7 million in funding. And that wasn't the report we never know how many people are gonna show up with
Of
requests,
course,
that's
and
the
how much the
problem.
request's gonna be.
And so luckily we were number 2 in the list.
I agree with you.
That always,
I
You're
feel
happy
very
with that?
well.
so that's the advantage, so you guys know as leaders, that's the advantage of getting your application in early.
All the way
Because
home,
you get numbered.
I was thinking we should have argued more, but
No, I thought we went, yeah,
Yeah.
well, you did very well in stepping up, you know, just out of the blue.
I thought it
We
worked
came
out
out
to our
well.
maximum benefit based on what they were gonna do.
Yeah,
I don't think they gave anybody, other than the one that wanted the planning grant, more than half of
they
what
gave,
asked.
the school that was replacing the boiler, the full $750,000.
Oh, did they? Okay.
In Bighorn County, yeah.
Was it Bighorn County? Well, they never say no to a school, so,
No.
which they shouldn't, so, yeah, that's a good thing. Okay, so that's done, but, so we got half the grant money that I was going after. What do y'all think? Should we look for another grant source? We can always go to the mine and ask, we can
Sure.
go back to the community foundation, or should we?
doesn't hurt to ask.
Sure.
Yeah, I, whatever you think is likely, or if you don't think it's a waste of time, in other words.
Right, well, the thing is grant money is never fast. So the only fast grant money we have locally, and they don't meet until April, is Signal Peak Community Foundation.
Right.
But the mayor mentioned to somebody that they declined. yesterday.
To
You
go
should
to
go
Signal
talk to the mine. And I thought, well, why don't we go talk to the
Yeah.
mine?
Well, they already gave us 50 grand.
Well, the community foundation
Signal
gave us
Peak.
50 now.
All
The Signal Peak Community Foundation, that's their philanthropic
Yeah, that's
arm.
basically separate, they funded,
But the mine has different money.
but.
Well, they just
we
need
need-
6,000
we need to talk to
directly to Yellowstone County, or to Billings, I should say.
them. Yeah, for a hockey,
6 million.
Right.
I was gonna mention that, Parker. We need a hockey team.
There's nothing wrong with us going in. and
No, I
asking.
think now that reinforces, let's ask for more. We need 8
We
million.
could probably put an ice ring in the Word building.
So you guys know what your relationship with the mine right now, with all the conversation you've been having. Would it be better for us to go wait and see where our budget falls with actual
And I
costs, and then go back to the community foundation for more? Or you guys know your relationship with them?
Yeah,
I think it's,
we're never sure about it.
I think it's on an upswing. We made kind of a concession to help them when they didn't, see, we're losing our federal mineral money, and we made a concession. I think hopefully they'd recognize that, and that, I think if you've got a deadline, I would put it in. That's my 2 cents.
I think we need to go in and talk to them again, just maintain that relationship, whether we ask for anything, and we should. I mean, we just say, hey, well, this is a concern. How we ask for it might be something we'll talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to go in and see them again.
Okay, I'll go with,
Yeah.
why don't we all four
Yeah,
go?
heavens, yes.
So go see
We
Parker.
haven't heard, keep in touch with them.
Because we support them.
Mm-hmm,
We did, we
We've gone out
did
of our-
everything we said we would.
okay, well, good.
Yes.
Well, I think that's the easiest fix. It won't require an application from me, so it won't cost the county any more of my time, but
Yeah.
if, they seem like the natural partner there, and I've already been told by the community foundation staff, a couple of them, that they said the foundation is not really excited about the project, cause past commissioners told them that they know the funding that the county has, so they feel like the county can just do this on their own. So when I run into that in the past, I go straight to Parker. Like when I ran into that with RIDE, I just go straight to Parker.
Using our tax
Okay.
money for that purpose is not popular.
Well, you know,
No, we need to go talk to them. I wanted to go
Yeah,
talk
we
to
just need
them
to go and
about,
talk to them.
about the Coal Revenue Act.
Exactly.
And that, we talked to Corey yesterday, and she gave us an update on it all, but they have insights that even Corey probably don't have, you know, because they're working both sides.
so y'all wanna wait till maybe after the
I'd
holidays?
like to know how they're
Yes.
planning.
Yeah, I would.
Maybe.
But I think they want, the fact they gave Yellowstone 6 million, I think they want to improve their image,
They do.
and I think they'd be thrilled to help out us. I didn't know there were 2 buckets of money, but, yeah, I would be surprised if they turned us down. I really would be.
I understand they give Signal Peak $400,000 to distribute each year. And Signal Peak doesn't distribute all of it.
No,
They got
no.
they put some away, so they got a little kitty. They could probably give us 180,000 pretty easily, but.
You mean
what
the
are they
community foundation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They commit to $300,000 a year, and $100,000 goes to scholarships.
So it's
What I was
all over,
told.
yeah, that's it.
That's
So
how-
And
that's where the
overall, it's
400,000
400,000, but they have not been meeting the 300,000, but they've been pretty close. I understand that they've contributed about, since, when did they start doing that, 2014 or something? I researched this, about $4 million they've contributed,
Yeah.
and, which is, not nothing, so.
Well, not nothing.
It's over a
That's
long
over-
period of time.
Yeah, a long period of time.
But it's a fraction of what they've received in tax abatement, but it's an
Okay.
information.
Well, let's do that after the first of the year. And then how do y'all usually coordinate meetings with him? Do you go through Laurel, or do you go straight to
Mike
him?
usually
Mike
calls
has been
Parker.
calling him.
Yeah.
We can, if, I have his phone number too, and I'd call him.
Okay. I think it'd be better to come from y'all, so I'll just follow up with y'all in January and we'll figure out a date
Yeah.
to approach him with. Okay,
Next year then, huh?
Next year, we'll just do this next year. So just an update on the temporary roof, John Ray, I got in touch with him, we walked through the building, his primary thing that he wants is the carpet, and
Yeah.
it's not in the 50 square foot area.
No.
And so him and he's just gonna wait until he has some extra hands, like maybe when his kids are here over the holidays. And then, he's just gonna call me and they're gonna move all that into
Out the
his,
front.
yeah, out the front, yes.
I don't wanna sound like a jerk, but is he gonna wear a mask?
No, he didn't wear a mask when I went in. But I did meet with the swim team as well. And
Oh, yeah.
We met, Emily Shoup went in there with me, and we moved out all the Rubbermaids, and then she left 8 full-size barrels. And so we posted them on Facebook to give away for free, cause she just like, oh, just have them take them to the dump when they clean out the building. And I was like, those things are heavy, and I know there's a lot of, you
Steel
know,
barrels?
still empty, clean barrels that they had used for some purpose, but she didn't want them, and they don't have a place to store them. So I just put them on Facebook, and a couple
Well,
of
they'll
them,
go away.
they were gone in a second.
Yeah.
I met them there on my own time yesterday. And we masked, and I told them, you know, but it took us like 5 minutes to get them out of there, so.
Yeah.
So I don't know, when I walk through with Johnny, you guys, there is a lot of furniture in there. I mean, it's,
Yeah, I know.
There's a lot of articles in there that really need to be articles and items, or whatever you wanna call them. They need, if he wants them, he can go get them.
he doesn't want them. They're gonna get left
I
in
know.
that building, and it's gonna be the developer's expense to clean out that building.
Well,
Wow.
is there such a thing as we set them out on the sidewalk, put a sign on them?
Well, that's what, you know,
There's
if
people
we just
who
say we
get
have
them.
there's some nice furniture in
Yeah,
there,
there is.
and people would take
You'd
them,
be
or,
surprised what people will take.
and
If you don't put free, you put $10 on them, and then negotiate it down to free.
Exactly,
They think
yeah.
they got a hell of a deal.
The higher price you put on it, the more interest you get.
so I guess that's a question, if, you know, so there's plaster all over them, and if we determine the plaster doesn't have any lead or anything dangerous in it, is there any risk to the county to give away stuff?
No,
So we could
I
just,
mean, no, the other
You
thing
need
is,
some furniture, don't you?
you know, I'm pretty well set, and I'm still looking for some M-lamps. The other option is, well, honestly, an auction,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if it's even worth doing an auction, cause I don't know how much the stuff's worth.
I don't think so.
But usually, I mean, that's how the county disposes of property. You know, I mean, you know, all right, we're getting new groundskeeping stuff, all right, you know, we got the old
Yeah.
weed whacker and everything, we're gonna auction it off. Someone gives you $2 for it, you go, okay, that's,
So how would we move that stuff from the Weir building to wherever we did the auction?
That's the catch. You gotta-
you know,
that's
Let's
what-
ask ourselves this, is it worth the effort for us to mess with it, or have the contractor just get rid of it?
Well, I know Randy, cause I helped him with clean out of Central School, and he
Right.
just I was like, if we do this as a fundraiser for the playground, will you let us go in there, and he did. But we just stuck it all out on the parking lot, and we
Yeah.
did a little yard sale, and everything was gone in like 3 hours.
Yeah, I think that would be in the hands of my 2 cents is that might be in the hands of the developer.
So let us put it in the hands of the developer, and if the developer says yes, then we can just do the street gift.
Street thing, or the developer can go ahead and auction it off and whatever revenue they get. I guess, I'm just thinking if we can transfer that problem, it's probably easiest for them. That's me, what do you guys
I
think?
kinda like the idea of having the developer do it too. Just,
Yeah.
you guys, just,
I would have no problem
look,
with
we're
that.
selling you the building,
It's
you know,
six,
once we've made the repairs, as is, everything in it, just make it go away.
Yeah.
it's 6 one way and half a dozen.
Well, and then there's no liability, somebody say, I got a desk that has asbestos on it or something, you know.
Not my problem.
Don't lick it.
Okay, all right,
That's good.
I'll have the developer do it. Okay, The roofer, so when I was talking to Johnny, he said, Teresa, I just took this video today and there was some plastic flapping up on
Oh,
the,
really?
just on the very lower place where they've created this new drain for the one-story roof. Anyway, I messaged him the video and just said, is this the way you had it designed? And he said, no, we'll be up there tomorrow.
Oh,
So
yeah.
evidently, so
Tap it
they
down.
installed some extra bar there, and he said the bottom part of it's, so if you see any more flapping on that lower part, right where the water drains off the roof,
It's kind of
that's
cool.
intentional.
Oh,
So it's just extra plastic, he said,
Hanging down,
that is
right.
past the bar. But it was a lot more before yesterday, so he came up
good.
like the next day and fixed it, so.
Good.
If you see anything like that, he's wonderful. He'll just come stand behind his work.
Wow.
So, and if you're in the building and see any water issues whatsoever, you guys, he's gonna stand behind his work. Just let me know. I followed up with Gary Barta because he was supposed to do his on-site visit to the vacant lots this week, and he says he's a little behind, but he'll be here next week.
Okay.
KSU TAP, they did a survey. They created, remember everybody, well, I know it's been an issue for me. I just don't feel like we have the voices of the teenagers as far as what the teenagers would use that building for, possible uses. And they put together in 1 week a little online survey, and I put it on Facebook on Roundup
Yeah.
Community
I
Partners
saw
page.
that.
And she said, Teresa, we got 400 responses in 5 days.
Really?
She couldn't believe it. So they weren't gonna close the survey till next week, but I told her to close it yesterday. And I pushed, we only had 22 responses from, youth, but I pushed it again I pushed it Monday again out to Angie Musquetta and asked her to get our youth to respond. Because they're trying to get all their products back to us by the 20th.
Okay.
So we should have KSU TAP's products.
Did they
but
have any theme, or they just haven't analyzed them?
They haven't analyzed them yet. It's a lot.
Yeah, there
She
would
was
be.
like, we've never seen that kind of response and in so quickly. So
400
400.
from the same 5 kids?
I guess people, I don't know if they control it so that you can have
Just
multiple.
wondered.
I'll be curious to see what they say.
I would do.
Yeah, so stay tuned. I did reach back out. I know this isn't
Here we
much.
are.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Morning. Good morning.
Still morning, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Technically, you're right.
We still have a few more minutes. Y'all mind if we finish our?
No, not at all. Do you want us to step outside?
No, no,
Okay.
no, no.
No.
So after our meeting Monday with Snowy Mountain Development, Greg and Tanya followed up. She thanked us all for being there. Greg particularly thanked us for that meeting because he actually got the Smithsonian number
Yeah.
immediately. And it put our project on the top of both of their piles.
Okay.
And so they submitted the, whatever forms they needed to get to SHPO. And they did that by Tuesday this week.
Alright.
So SHPO's 30 days started Tuesday, and so it's already in her hands. So if she got to that this week, we could.
Was she on that, was she involved in that,
Tanya, or,
the SHPO rep?
yes, she was,
Good luck.
I can't think
Excuse
of
me,
her
gentlemen, I'm gonna go
first.
try and get my voice back.
Thank you,
Thanks.
man.
Thanks
Cause
for coming.
she said she needed, I mean, there's a chance that she won't take the full 30 days, but she, we'll see.
And she's working over Christmas and she's gone this next week, but they got it to her this week, so there's a possibility that since, we don't have any structural repair being done with federal funds, that she just approve it quickly and get it through. But hopefully over the Christmas week it'll get done, and then Tanya can get started on her requested hazmat cleanup. That's what we're talking about for the new building.
There were some unspoken things there in that meeting, which kind of put a little bit of pressure on her, I felt.
Right, well, that was sort of the point of the meeting.
Mhm.
And I was glad that Tanya sort of stood up for us there, and because it's just semantics, it's not, it was, yeah. And
It's
she
all
can't
understood by
proceed without-
everybody what's happening here and the
Right.
timeframes that we're all dealing with. By
It's
that
really
not
good.
happening.
It's really good you had that meeting, because it
Mhm.
moved that critical item forward that could have drifted, so.
Of course.
excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah, so thank you guys, cause your presence, you know, that always just says this is serious, so thank you. The Montana Main Street program, I haven't heard back from the mayor on the MOU that, you know, just on the administration of the grant and what parties are responsible for what. But Ben's already approved the MOU, and it should be at the city attorney's,
okay.
on his desk for his review, but I'll follow up with the mayor.
Yeah.
Today, we have the Roundup Community Partners meeting, so I'll ask him
really?
about it today. And then, the RFQP for identifying the developer, yeah.
I looked at it and I thought it was good. It was a lot more succinct, which is probably good. It mentioned that timeline was gonna be part of it, and I think the whole aspect of enforcing a timeline would be based on negotiating with, you know, they're supposed to submit a timeline, and then whatever we sign with them, they need to understand we're gonna expect them to live up to that timeline.
Right,
Is that the thinking?
yes, and, well, that template came from Randy Hafer,
Okay,
and from the Billings, can't think of the project downtown that you guys use that, the downtown Billings, committee used that, but they got it from another community, I think in Ohio. I asked their permission to use their template. And then I added a lot of points that Bonity had in past RFQs and RFPs for the county.
okay.
But then I also have gotten, RFQ templates from Butte and, Snowy Mountain that I'd like to just, I haven't had the time to
Me
like.
neither, to kind of cross
I wanna
check.
go through those and be sure we're not missing any good points and add them to that, so if you wanna have them, you had mentioned a working meeting.
Yeah, that's what I like, cause that would be my next step, is say, well, how did Silverbow handle the timeline issue?
Right,
You know, so that the developers know that they're serious about you having, you know, the financial means and the ability to meet the timeline. So, good stuff though, I thought it was a really good,
well, you know me, I don't like reinventing the wheel, and when Randy handed me that, I was like,
but one
This is
thing
a gold
jumps out
mine.
on you though, is how quick we need to get it done, to get it out so that we can have,
yeah,
your goal was to have responses by the end of January or
yeah,
something?
if that's possible. I
Well,
was
it would
actually gonna
be-
ask these
it-
guys
it
if
would
they
be
thought
if
that was,
we didn't, I mean, obviously the developers would have input, but we can get it out by, you know, I think our next step is just cross-check it against a couple, which sounds easy, it may not be that easy, we'll see.
Depends on how many you're comparing it to, right?
Well, I think
we
the
have about
silver,
10,
the
but I
silver
don't
bow to
think
me
it's,
is they're the ones that kind of planted the seed in our head.
Yeah.
yeah, and they've done this, and so I don't think it'll take, that didn't take me as long as I thought it would. And, I mean, I think I spent 4 hours on it.
But I
so.
think you were wrong on the longitude of the building.
Well, you have to blame for
Gotta
that.
resubmit everything.
Which makes the whole thing go down.
Yeah, you know, when you get into all those legal contracts now, they're just
All messed
void.
up.
Yeah.
Boy,
Well, I do have some data requests out to Darcy and DOR, just to be sure the assessment data is correct and that kind of stuff, but I think we're in good shape, so.
Yeah, I like it.
So you wanna schedule like a working
Well, we
meeting
meet
next
on
week?
Wednesdays.
You do?
yeah.
We could meet earlier if you wanted, but maybe give everybody a chance to review maybe the Silver Bow or one of the other templates. And, maybe that'll be part of our Wednesday discussion. Now, these guys have been meeting earlier, so we could probably do it earlier. I guess the claims
Yeah,
earlier,
no,
already
yeah,
now
yeah.
earlier. What do
What
you guys
time
think?
Wednesday?
Hmm?
What time Wednesday?
What time works for you? Would it be,
Mornings are
Good
better
night,
for
10
me.
o'clock.
mornings are better? Well, how about 10:30? How long will it take? Would an hour do it?
Depends on
I think
how
so.
prepared we are.
If
But-
you've done your homework,
Yeah.
There you go.
I think it might take an hour. I mean, it probably won't, but it's like, if we do it like we did with the scope of services with High Plains, which was a really productive discussion, that's what I think we should do with this RFP.
Okay,
11 o'clock?
sure,
Yeah.
that works for you guys?
All right, I'm putting that in my thing at 11. If I come here and you guys are meeting at 9,
We try to do that.
On purpose.
Wednesday at 11, right?
Wednesday, the 20, no, it's
The
Christmas.
18th.
Yeah, 18th,
I'll have to leave the Christmas tree.
okay.
See, he's 2 weeks ahead of you guys.
Don't steal that week, I really need it, Mike. I
Okay.
really need it. Okay, so,
What are we gonna call this meeting?
Well-
Weir RFP review.
that sounds great to me. So I guess could I ask y'all's advice on that? So as a, you know, if you put your developer hat on, if Randy had you guys say, okay, we've gotten a request for qualification proposal for the Weir building, is a month enough time for you guys to turn something like that around?
Typically, most RFPs come in without the non-developer hat on, and
Mhm.
architectural RFPs, when those come in, it's usually what, two weeks to 3 weeks turnaround?
2 weeks is the minimum, it's
Yeah.
advisable to do 3 weeks. We're actually, the longer amount of time you give your potential respondents to prepare their responses, the better the quality of the responses will be.
Right.
And with the developer hat on, I think at least 4 weeks.
I'm thinking 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that way they have a chance to really think about it. There's maybe two schools of thought. One, they'll have a better response, or two, they'll just wait longer before they start it. But,
Yeah.
I think you give them a reasonable time to get a better answer.
Well, you know, I was hoping to get it out by the end of the month, but if we get it out sooner, you know, that's,
Well, we could get the RFP out, but we wouldn't get the response back for 6 weeks.
right, but what I'm saying is I was thinking we'd get the RFP out by the end of the month. And I know it's the holidays, so it really doesn't buy you a lot of extra time when it comes for people's work life. So, okay, so you think mid-February for,
Yeah, so let's say that you got it, let's say you did get it out by the end of the month. That would be mid-February, would be when the responses would be due. And then we would probably take how long to review it?
Usually about 2
2
weeks.
weeks. Which means that we might by March be able to have selected a developer. That's if and everything moves to the right if we don't get it out by the end of the month, and say we get it out the first week of January. That's all okay.
yeah, I think if we're gonna have our working meeting next week, I mean, Bonadee, how long does it take to get an RFQ submitted to the newspaper? I mean, just send it out there, right?
Okay, now that's a good point. Let's not meet Wednesday then. Let's meet,
I just wrote it down.
well, because Bonity needs to have it, well, hang on, let's think about it. It needs to get turned in Tuesday night, right?
Paper?
To
It
advertise.
has to be by Sunday to be advertised.
Okay, never mind. So we can meet Wednesday, we can figure it out, get it to Bonity maybe Friday.
On a T.
On a D.
On a DD.
And, that's my Wyoming accent.
Yeah, it's pretty good
We
sleep.
say crick. Fell down to the crick.
Um,
Um,
so, do you wanna have the meeting published? Is that what we're doing?
no.
No.
We're gonna, the product of, the outcome of that meeting, Teresa's gonna put together an RFP that we're gonna need to advertise.